again to another episode of Do Nation. Let's do it for the nation. I am Joanna Lazaro, co-owner of Laurus Enterprises, and I handle the marketing and sales operations of our company. And for all our friends in the Philippines, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. And for all the friends that we have outside, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's episode. And before I proceed, please help me welcome again a very good friend of Laurus Enterprises who has always been there and never stopped supporting us ever since we started going big in our events in 2015. So please help me welcome my good friend, Mr. Rich Paredes, founder of VIP International.
Hey, Joanna. Kala ko,
Hi!
nakalimutan mo na yung apelido ko. So anyway, how are you? How are you?
Sorry.
So, welcome guys to Do Nation. It's another day of learning. It's another day of great energy, great value. So I'm so excited because, of course, we are here for this wonderful and epic event of Do Nation. And I'd love us to talk a little bit more about that, Joanna, because I know there's a lot of people who's been asking, who's been being so generous, and I want people to understand why we are doing this.
Yes, my pleasure, Rich. Thank you so much. And yeah, tonight is actually going to be very, very, very special because of our guest speaker tonight and a special dear friend of Laurus Enterprises. But before we introduce him, please, to all the viewers, allow us to tell you what Do Nation is all about. Do Nation, let's do it for the nation, is a virtual charity learning event spearheaded by Laurus Enterprises and with the support of our friends from Success Resources of Singapore. We're actually interviewing at least 9 awesome international speakers who are on top of their games, and they will be sharing a lot about their own journey, their realizations, the things that they learned along the way that made them who they are and where they are right now. But along with that, the very goal of Do Nation is to actually raise awareness and raise funds for our medical frontliners because right now, COVID is still here. And as much as we want to avoid talking about COVID-19, but the reality is our medical frontliners still need our help. We need to protect them so that they can continue doing their honorable task of helping everybody. And we need to prevent transmission of disease on them, Rich. And at the same time, donation is also for all the event liners. These event liners or the displaced event personnel are those who are on a no work, no pay basis. Yeah. Unfortunately, ever since the quarantine started, sometime in March, almost or all of event companies like ours were prohibited to do mass gathering or to do live events.
That's true.
Because yeah, we understand the initiative of the government because we don't want to transmit this kind of disease to another person and we don't know who is carrying it or not, right? So the best way to protect everyone is to prohibit mass gatherings. But on the downside is that a lot of our fellow personnel, fellow friends from the industry actually suffered financially. Not just the entrepreneurs who had to shut down their operation, but also the personnels who are daily wagers. So their salaries, their income depend on the live events that they are working or that they're doing. So right now, they needed our help, they needed our support. So that's why we decided to do this whole activity for the frontliners and for the event liners because you know what, Rich, charity begins at home. We love saying that because the events industry is really our home, right?
That is true.
And I am just so grateful, Rich. Please allow me to say this. I am grateful that all of us in Laurus and VIP International, our guest speakers and everybody, that we are in this position to do this, that we will be able to provide help rather than being the one in the receiving end. And I think that it's really something that we should be thankful for to the universe or to God, right? Because He has
True.
given us so much blessings. So this is what donation is all about. And we are encouraging everyone. We are requesting everybody who is watching right now to please help us with the support. Please support us in this endeavor, I mean. As you could see, we are displaying our donation link. And if you go there, you could see how much has already been raised, and we are continuously raising the amount so that because the target reach is to help at least 100 medical frontliners and at
Yes.
least 100 event liners. But if we can go higher, then definitely we will provide more to everybody who really needs this endeavor.
I totally agree. And this is the time, guys, this is the time to be generous. This is the time to give. It's always been a habit that when you're in need yourself, you sow a seed. So
Yeah.
that for me, I'm just telling you guys, if you are a lot of people, we are in the same boat, we are in the same situation, we are in the same lovely planet that we are in right now. So I'm just saying, everyone, 100 pesos can really go a long, long way. So I'm just asking deep in your hearts, if you have, if you're feeling it, please do take action on it. You know, you are helping people. Like what Joanna said, there's a lot in the events industry that they go day by day. They have their life is based on how many days they work. So
Yeah.
obviously there's no work right now. There's no pay. So we are just gonna be reaching out a little bit, giving a nudge for these people, and you know, we just have to endure it because we know this is going to end pretty soon. We just have
Yeah.
to be hopeful, and we just have to be grateful. Like what Joanna said, I am always grateful for everyone who is here, for everyone who's helping out.
We heal as one, we
No,
act as one, we hold each other.
that's good.
This is the time that we do it for the nation and we empower each other.
That
So
is
we're providing this donation charity event for you guys to empower the frontliners and event liners. But at the same time, the great news, Rich, is that
yeah.
we are also empowering everybody who's watching with us right now, especially that you are now going to introduce
Yeah,
our dear friend.
I was
And
about to say that.
I'm so excited.
I personally, he's actually my virtual coach.
Yes,
So I've been attending their MBA, and I'm learning from this guy. And like what I said, he is my morning tea. I, he's my morning he is my
Karma.
morning motivator. And every morning is like my wife. When she hears the voice of this guy, she knows I'm learning already. I'm taking notes early in the morning. So I'm just excited that we have the chance to interview him. So for everyone who doesn't know, he is the director and CEO of Quantum Leap Learning Solutions. He
Yes,
is also he's also the strategic director of Dreamcatcher Investments. The good news is he's also an author. His book is an Amazon bestseller. Okay, it's
wow.
Cattle or Catalyst. All right, we're gonna give you more information about that. Of course, he is a business coach. That's why personally, I know him, being my coach as well. So I'm just really excited, and I know everyone's excited to hear him, to see him, to learn from him. So, guys, I just want to remind everyone, get a pen and a paper because you're going to be getting a lot of value. I'm
Special
ready. I'm
case.
ready. I'm ready as usual. So, guys, without further ado, let's all welcome Mr. Karan Hasija. There you go. Mr. Karan, please join us.
Hey
Yay!
guys. Hi Joanna. Hi Rich. It's so good to see you guys.
Oh, the pleasure is all
The
ours.
pleasure
How are
is
you?
ours.
I'm super. How are you guys doing?
Great. Oh, especially that you're here now.
Yeah,
Oh, it's my
and
pleasure.
I feel so glad to be welcoming you and to be doing this interview with you, Karan. So, how are you, and how's India right now?
So I'm good. Thankfully, I mean, we are blessed and we are, I would say, lucky that we're not directly affected by this pandemic. And it's something to really, really have gratitude for, that we're all safe in our homes, safe in our houses. So everything's fine. India's recovering, and slowly things are opening up. At least in my city where I live in a city called Bangalore, and things, at least during the day, are opened up except for malls and cinemas. So business is slowly getting back to normal, and we have a long way to go, but we're getting there.
Yes, we're getting there. It's similar to the Philippines actually. So some stores are allowed to operate, but still we're putting stricter measures with regards to physical distancing, and all the store owners are being required to implement their own rules to make
Yep,
sure that everybody is going to be protected, even though the business is already in operation. So that's a good news, right, in a way, because
yep,
our friends from the business industry can go back and can help once again the economy recover.
That's true.
absolutely.
Unfortunately for the events industry, we don't know yet what's gonna happen, but hang in there, guys. We will do this. This too shall pass, and we believe that the universe has something big, something greater for all of us. That's why we're keeping our faith and we're keeping our hope.
Totally, Joanna. And honestly, I mean, I really feel that it's a matter of time. And even if let's just say it does have an impact on the events per se, I think the events industry will find out an alternative. Okay, because the learning never stops. Because the number one skill for success is always going to be learning. It's new
Yes,
things for us to learn right now, also.
and it's all about having that experience. Nothing replace the experience of being in a room, being with growth-minded people, as you learned from Robert Riobel Rich, right?
Yeah.
And learning personally from all these amazing speakers, just like yourself. So, Karan, I'd like to ask you. Can you please share to everybody who is Karan Hasija and what made you who you are today?
So, that's always the first question which usually someone asks me. That's always like a question which I take some time to answer, because there is so much which people go through in life to describe who they are and how they've come about where they are. So,
Mm,
I'll tell you my perspective about uh, what journey I've gone through. I started off as an engineering student,
mm,
going with like a whole mentality, going with the flow. And at that point of time, when I was about 17, 16, 17 years old, in my country, in India, everybody wanted to do engineering because the future was to get a job in a good corporate or a multinational company and settle down. And I come from a business family, but my father wasn't really that successful as an entrepreneur. He had his challenges, and my mother wasn't too keen on me getting into business.
mm,
And from there, when I got into college, within my first semester itself, I decided that this is not for me, and I decided to start my own business. And
mm.
within the next 1 year, I dropped out of my engineering. So I'm a proud college dropout. Uh,
Wow.
it's something I wear. I'm like I'm those kind of people over there who would go there and say that it doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense to drop out, because at the end of the day you got to make your decisions and you got to carve your life. So
Yes.
I I dropped out of my engineering, and I started off my business Quantum Leap in the year 2006 2007, along with my business partners Rajiv Talreja and Pranab Kumar Reddy. So the three of us started Quantum Leap, and yeah, it's not been an easy journey. There's been ups, there've been downs. I would say in the last 14 to 15 years, we have gotten bankrupt 3 times. We have grown. We have come to a stage where it took us 102 rejections to get our first client,
Mm,
and we came to a stage where we had more than 200 corporate organizations whom we were training and coaching. And in this entire period, the journeys have been such an amazing learning journey. And I think the highlight for me was the year 2012. So by the
mm.
year 2012, I was running 4 businesses.
Wow.
Yeah.
Four.
I had my first my first business was obviously Quantum Leap Learning Solutions. In the year 2009, I started off a recruitment company. In the year 2010, I started off an outsourced project management company. And the year 2011, I started off a food brand, a hot dog brand in India. And hot dogs in India are not very popular because that's not like one of the staple fast foods. Burgers run better here. So I wanted to introduce something which was new. I wanted to introduce something which was supposedly revolutionary,
Uh-huh.
based on how other countries they love hot dogs. So here it's not the same. And
Mhm.
so 2011, 2012, I was running four businesses, and I really felt that it's a lot of progress. I think it's a big milestone. A lot of people outside in my circles thought that I've made it in life and I'm doing really well. But truth to be told, nah, nothing. My bank account, none of that reflected any of what was happening in reality. I was struggling. That's the honest truth. I was struggling. Nothing was going anywhere. And 2012 for me was a big transition in my life because two of my businesses went completely bust.
Wow.
Those probably were failures which, according to me, redefined who I am and made me who I am today. And I found myself into a huge debt, a debt of I would say, I'll say it in Indian currency, it's about 45 lakh rupees, which is approximately about 250 to 300, no, maybe more than that, thousand pesos. Okay,
Mhm.
and I was about 25 or I was about 25 or 30, 25 years of age at that point of time. And for a
Mhm.
25-year-old, having that kind of a debt, not a small. It's not an easy situation to be in. And then the for 2 years, 2012 to 2014, it was just struggle. You go through these situations in life where you're trying so hard, you are trying to figure out a solution, but no matter what you do, nothing works. And you're
Mhm.
wondering to yourself, what do I do differently? Give me some guidance, give me some direction. I always thought I had talent, I always thought I had capabilities, but bottom line, I was not producing the result. And this happened till the year 2014. And then in the year 2014, I was blessed that I started off my learning journey. I attended my learning journey by attending events. I attended the MMI for the first time. I went and attended T. Havaker's MMI. I was blessed to watch him live in my city in Bangalore. And from then on, started piecing all the pieces of the puzzle together. And here we are. Today, things are very different. Things are a dream. We've been blessed, but that's been the journey. I mean, the last 14 to 15 years have been nothing but a roller coaster ride, and that's what's made me who I am today. And I would live it over again, over and over and over again. That's the best part because it's a journey worth living for me.
And it's an amazing
Wow.
journey, Karan. I was listening so closely to you, and I was actually writing down a lot of things. For businesses, that's quite huge. And I could just imagine the amount of money that you invested and eventually lost. And when you were talking about it, it's actually a hard time for you. But looking at you right now, recalling that moment in your life, and I could see you are at peace with that experience of yours, and that's really good. For all our viewers out there, I hope that you were able to really listen closely as well with what Karan shared to us, because sometimes the thing that happens with most people is that when they went into some challenges, there's bump on the road
Mhm.
on their journey. Some of us immediately wouldn't want to continue anymore. This is enough for me. Maybe this is not the right vehicle for me. Maybe business is not for me. Maybe employment is not for me. So if you keep doing that, what is there for you, right? So you just have to really have that courage, just like what Karan is showing us in this journey of his. And Karan, I'm really curious because you're working in this business together with Rajiv Talreja and Pranav, who are also our mentors at the NBA or our business coaches. Are you guys friends or relatives?
A
You know
lot
why
of
I
people
want? Sorry,
go on, go on.
the reason that I'm asked is because some people would say it's actually hard to do business with friends or with relatives. because you cannot tell them the things that they have to know. And usually they go on big clashes. So, and working with you guys for the past 2 years, I believe, or 3 years already, we've
Yep.
been bringing you to the Philippines for 3 years. But you guys seem to be very connected and aligned with one another. And I never saw you fight or argue about something. Like when we are brainstorming or talking about something, it's like your mind is of the same wavelength. That whatever you are saying, it's the same with Rajiv and Pranav and everybody else in your team. So how does it go? How are you guys doing that?
So I'll answer your first question first, Joanna. We are not relatives. We didn't know each other before we got into business. We had very weird, unexpected circumstances where all of us met. Uh,
Um,
Me and Rajiv, while we were in college, were a part of a student organization, and we were interning, and that's where we got connected to each other. And because we had common interests, because we had a common vision, that's probably the reason why we decided to explore. In fact, truth to be told, me and Rajiv's wife Bhakti, we were really close friends before. I didn't even know who Rajiv was. Okay, yeah. And then during that journey, we actually met Pranav in a business development deal. We were trying to pitch for a academic institution to do a training for their college students, and we were hoping to meet the dean or the principal of that college. And while we were meeting that college principal, we took him out for dinner. He came in with his son, and that son turned out to be Pranav. And rather than talking to the dean or the principal of the college, we hit it off so much with Pranav that we just decided that let's all work together. So to answer your second question, so I think I completely agree with you. I think I mean we're all blessed, and we keep acknowledging this that that we call it the Trinity, the three of us together. That it's so much in sync that uh, with as individuals, I really believe we're nothing, but we are able to really create some awesome magic when the three of us come together. Why?
yeah.
Because our partnership is not based on friendship. Okay, in fact, we become the best of friends after we became business partners, and therefore the
Mm.
distinction between business and personal relationships is very different. Like today, we're so close that I travel the maximum with them. I'm not talking about work. I'm talking about holidays. Like every
Mm.
year, all six of us. When I'm saying six, I'm saying the three of us and our respective wives. In fact, in January, it was seven of us. I took my son, and the seven of us went. Nine of us, in fact, even Suren and Shiny of
Mm.
Success Gan from India. We went to Australia for a holiday. So we do this every year. And it's come to this situation that we've built such strong relationships because our core, our fundamental relationship is our business. And we never let a personal relationship come in the way. On the other hand, was something which you mentioned really right. A lot of people face a lot of difficulty in doing business with friends and family. I've faced that too. I've in one of the businesses which shut down. My childhood friends were business partners and failed miserably because the basis of that relationship is not the business partnership. It's not the capability you're bringing on the table. It's the friendship. And people find it very difficult to leave their personal relationships outside of their business relationships. It happens the
Mm.
same way in family businesses. Yeah, and that's the difference. So is it hard? Yes, but if we're able to create a culture where you can separate these two, that's when it can work magic. But for us, that's been a blessing. We never refrain from holding each other accountable. Joanna, by the way, we fight. It's not possible for us not to fight. We have a lot of difference of
But you're
opinions.
hiding it from me. So
Now I
you
don't
guys
think we
are
hide
going
it.
to hide it.
So I tell you what we do well. There's no residual effect.
Sorry.
There is no residual effect. We don't have any lingering effect after that. It never becomes personal for us. And I
Yeah.
think that's the best part about us.
Yeah,
Wow,
you're
that
you're not being emotional about it. So
Yeah.
the fight is really about brainstorming in a way because even as in Laurus, sometimes it happens, but and then you'll see us laughing, eating together right after that moment as if nothing happened.
We've given each other open permission. Like I know for a fact my business partners have all the right to question me for anything, and likewise. Because
Yeah.
we'd also take a bullet for each other. That's the so it's a simple philosophy. Stand by each other, also question each other, always required.
That's
Yes.
good. uh, any business partners, it's definitely a not a culture, but it really happens that there's arguments. Of course, if you want to fight, if you have an idea, you want to fight for it, and you really
Yep.
want to
Mm.
show you want to show your partners, no, what I'm thinking is really good. So that's where the arguments, and it's not really arguing, but it's really about getting into a point where everyone will agree.
Agreed.
That's true.
And
Yeah,
um,
that's how it works.
and for me, Karan, based on what you just mentioned a while ago, I feel that a lot of the audience are relating, especially to your story, to your experience about business. I personally went through a lot of failures as well. I have friends who are in business who are very successful now, has gone through a lot of struggles and failures during those business times, and I feel that a lot of the viewers are getting value from that, because sometimes a lot of the stories that they hear, they only see and they only hear the results. But
Yep.
they
Yeah.
don't realize that most of the struggles and most of the concerns that we go through in business are almost the same. But
True.
Mm.
True.
always the result that's different depending on how they look at it and how they work on it. And that is definitely one of the things that I've learned from you guys, from the MBA, from Quantum Leap, and this is what I really value from that. Relating you can literally relate to us entrepreneurs of what we go through, and I love it that you guys have the solution. That's why I'm just saying that everything, all entrepreneurs, we go through the same things. It's not unique anymore. But the
Yes.
thing
You,
is
you
with
couldn't have put it better. You couldn't have put it better, Rich. I think
uh,
what you said was bang on. So thank you so much for saying that. I really appreciate what you said, and that's been our mission. I mean, for us, it's always been about adding value, giving the right solution, so people are able to grow. I mean, with no offense, I'm not a big fan of motivation, because I really believe as an entrepreneur, if you need to be motivated, you shouldn't do that business.
true.
Simple. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a believer of direction. I'm a believer of solutions, because
Right.
that's what people want, something which they can do, something which they can implement to solve. So you couldn't have put better, Rich. It was fantastically represented.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Because I learned from you guys. Come on.
Thank you
And
so
I
much.
also love that you talk about culture, this kind of thing. So I believe because we're all products of Blair Singer, so you have your own team code of honor as well. So I think these are the most valuable parts of creating a harmonious business with the people who's working around it. Not just the people in the management team or the owners, but it's something that we should spread upon everybody in the whole team, or meaning all the employees should be aware of this culture and should be aware of the purpose and the mission of the company, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Every person in the organization has to breathe the same code of honor, like how Blair says it. Blair has been a mentor to me too. That man has probably taught me the skills required for doing what I'm doing today. He's one of my most profoundest teachers. So, bow down to him all the time. And he says it perfectly right. Code of honors is everything when it comes to holding the team together. And I believe the reason why it's important is because I feel culture is like a religion, and like every religion has its own rituals, has its own practices, has its own systems. That way, for every organization, also you need to have a culture which can bring up people to behave in a certain manner and relate to each other. So it is important to trickle down to every single person on the organization, and it cannot be something which you just put up on a wall. That's useless. It needs to be something which shows people like a guideline how to behave when situations come up. That's what a culture really is.
Nice. So,
Thank you so much.
Karan, you guys have been doing a lot of coaching, of course,
Mhm.
entrepreneurs, both from Philippines and India. What do you
Yep.
think are the basic qualities that make a good entrepreneur?
So, Rich, there are many perspectives to this. Okay, I'm going to give you my personal perspective. I
Yeah.
believe the number one quality of an entrepreneur is the willingness to learn. And even though to some people it might sound cliched, it is not at all cliched, because as an entrepreneurial journey, you can never say that you've made it. In fact, the minute you say that you've made it, that's the time I believe that the downward trend will start, because The customer is always going to change. The market's always going to change. The demands of people are always going to change. This pandemic has already taught us that if you're not going to change, you're not going to survive, right? So how can you stop learning? It's the number one skill, number one quality required to be successful. The number two quality required to be successful as an entrepreneur, according to me, is the willingness to be consistent in taking action in comparison to just talking. I'll tell you what I mean by this, okay? And this is honestly a very painful area when I see a lot of entrepreneurs. They're very excited, they're very passionate, but they don't back up that passion with action. Yeah, and I keep saying this, that what's the point of passion if it's not going to lead you to profit? You can't forget that as a business owner, you need to make profits, and profits will come when you take action in the right direction. So are you willing to get out of your comfort zone, take action with courage, facing your fears, addressing your challenges? That's the second most important quality of an entrepreneur. Very, very critical. Otherwise, it's just all talk. And for me, the third quality of an entrepreneur, and this is again a very personal opinion, and the reason why I'm saying this is because I see a lot of people who do not have this quality. As an entrepreneur, you need to have expertise in what you're doing. Yeah, I tell you what I mean by this. Today, I know I work with a lot of people who want to become entrepreneurs, who want to start up their journey. And most people fail because they just want to become an entrepreneur because of that tag, because of that identity, but they're not really good at what they do. Yeah, so you need to be good. Because if you don't have expertise, how will you add value? And if you're not adding value, then you're never going to be successful. And you can't be in that self-deception that I think I'm good, but the world honestly doesn't think so, because the results will show, period. So to summarize it, learning, willingness to take action, and expertise. Top three qualities of an entrepreneur.
Wow.
I totally agree with that, Karan. With everything that you are saying right now, I think this really three boils it down so that aspiring entrepreneurs, or even entrepreneurs like us who have been in the business for quite some time, is really something really that we need to learn, or to always remind ourselves of. You know what? Funny thing is that some time ago we met. She's quite a young lady, and we met her inside her restaurant. So when we found out, so we were in awe because she's so young and all. And then she was telling us that she's starting the restaurant business because she's really good, and people are telling her that she cooks really, really, really delicious food. So we were so pumped, right? So we're so excited. And then so when the opening came, we went there, and based on her recommendation, we ordered everything that she told us that the restaurant's bestseller. So when it was served to us, and we started eating, and then you know what? My jaw dropped. Not because I like the food, but because they're not good. Like, oh my gosh, how is she opening a restaurant like this that she's not even really aware that the food isn't that good quality in the very first place? So because she just relied on what her friends told her, and she really, I'm not sure, but it's something that popped that came into my mind as you were discussing about these qualities to succeed. And sadly, when we went back on her place, it was already closed. So it took her 6 months, and she wasn't really able to make it a big business. Yeah, because it's a restaurant, so the food is the number one priority, right? But if you cannot even provide good food to your customers, then they're not going to come back. So this is what expertise is all about. It's not just
and it can be built.
Yes,
Joanna, the best part is can be built.
Not knowing how to cook, but you really have to be expert on it, and you have to continue learning. Like if you know how to cook beef stew, then you cannot serve beef stew the whole time. You have to do something else, serve something else to your customers, right?
And I believe that is where coaching comes in. That is where mentorship comes in. Because like what you're saying right now, even if you're in the restaurant business, for people who's watching, you're in the restaurants business right now. of course, there should be somebody who's coaching you, guiding you
Yes.
on what to do, especially on situations that we cannot control. Like, for
Mhm.
example, what's happening to us right now. Even if you have like you feel you have the perfect dish that can change the world, but sometimes that world is probably your own world, and you're not getting
Absolutely, yeah.
feedbacks from other people, from experts as well. That's why
Right.
I feel I just cannot stop talking about coaching, because I know coaching itself is really the right choice for me.
Mhm.
That's my opinion, because you'll never know where you can go unless somebody can really guide you through that path. And I mean,
Absolutely.
yes, there is the experience. There that is also a part of the journey. But wouldn't it be faster if you have somebody who can guide you, who can teach you?
Who can
That's
mentor
what I
you?
love about MBA. That's why I
Yes.
love about what Karan has been talking about. And you have really perfectly put it, man. It's listening, it's having the willingness to listen, it's always taking action. I've been
And
a
number
guilty of
three,
that.
expertise. Be
Yeah,
an
being
expert.
an expert. Always
So learning,
learning,
Continue
taking action,
learning.
taking
Yes.
action,
and expertise.
and expertise. Oh my God, I love this.
And you know what,
Thank
Rich
you.
and Karan, because you know what, a teacher never stops learning.
Yeah,
If
Agreed.
you want to be good at what you do, and you want your students to really learn valuable things, then you yourself as a teacher should never stop
correct.
We
learning. You
cannot.
have yes, you have to continue improving on your craft, on everything that you are doing, so that you can be the best person to teach something to this
Every
student.
teacher has a teacher. Every coach has a coach.
Yes,
Period.
I love it.
that's true.
I,
I have so
Couldn't
many
agree
coaches who work
further.
with me.
I love what you said. Every teacher has a teacher. Every coach has a coach. True,
Yes,
100%.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Karan, can you please tell us, because and I'm just curious, who is your most inspiring story? Like whenever I would talk to somebody, there would always be a hero for them. So in my case, I would consider Robert Kiyosaki as a hero on my journey to entrepreneurship. It's because of his book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and at the same time, I got really lucky that I met Jerome, who's doing the Cash Flow 101 workshop here in the Philippines. So that's why I attribute it to Jerome's son and to Robert Kiyosaki. And they are really my inspiring story that took me from where I were before to where I am right now. So in your case, Karen, can you tell us who is your most inspiring story?
So my most inspiring story is actually I mean, I hope you've heard of this person called Dhirubhai Ambani, the Ambanis of India, Mukesh Ambani,
Mhm.
Reliance.
Reliance.
Yeah, he's the richest man in India.
Yeah.
Is
He's worth
he
more
part of the
than
MBA?
no. He's not a part of the NBA. I mean,
No.
I think we should learn from him more than he learning from us. Yeah. So I'll tell you about so the recently is in news because he just created a good partnership with Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook to bring in Facebook as Facebook's investment into India. He is the ninth richest man in the world. His name is Mukesh Ambani,
Mhm.
and he's the richest man in India. Okay.
Mm.
Yes.
Now
I know.
he's not my inspiration. His father is my inspiration. Yeah,
Oh,
his father founded it all, and a multi-billion-dollar. I mean, he's huge. Like basically the walkers and talkers of the world. Now I'll tell you why his father Dhirubhai Ambani is my inspiration. Okay, he's the founder of Reliance Industries, and that's like huge. It's a world phenomenon. But the reason why he's my inspiration is because these are stories which my grandfather is another inspiration for me. Honestly, if I were to tell you the one of the reasons why I chose to become an entrepreneur is because of my grandfather. I've dedicated my book to my grandfather because
wow.
he put me on this path, and I still remember this till today. Okay, my grandfather. I was 13 years old, and my grandfather told me the story. He said that when my grandfather was a child, when he was 10 years old, he used to live in a city called Mumbai in India, and the Dhirubhai Ambani, which I'm talking about, he used to be a regular, a small boy, hardly, 10, 12 years of age. And he used to roam around in the streets of Mumbai to textile showrooms carrying cloth, parcels of cloth on his shoulder, and he has sold to my grandfather.
Wow.
So my grandfather used to buy cloth. My grandfather was a textile merchant.
Mm.
Okay, and my grandfather has bought textile from Dhirubhai Ambani, and that Dhirubhai Ambani, as a door-to-door salesman, would go to every shop and sell, and he became his one of the richest men in the world. So when I was 13 years old, my grandfather told me the story, and he said that if Dhirubhai Ambani, from a door-to-door salesman having nothing, can become who he is today, anybody can.
Wow.
And that really inspired me, because that was a day as a child, subconsciously, I thought that I should pursue entrepreneurship because this is for me. So he's my biggest inspiration, because he went through every kind of adversity possible, through family, through friends, through government, through other businesses, but he came from zero, and today he is the richest man in India. It's a pretty big deal.
Wow.
Wow.
It kind of reminds me of Alibaba.
Yeah,
Alibaba
very
is
similar.
also another inspiring story for me. And yeah, the adversities that he went to, knocking on every friend who would actually do business with him, and eventually when he was starting and they were failing, people left him, but those who stayed with him, they are right now the richest people, among the richest people. And wow, I would want to meet this person, Karan. Thank you for sharing.
Dhirubhai Ambani is no more. It's been a while since he's passed away. But his son, Mukesh Ambani, the two brothers. Mukesh Ambani is the richest man in India today. He's if meeting him is more difficult than meeting the Prime Minister of the country.
Well, I think that's understandable.
Now I see why you have this great inspiration from this guy, because a lot of the young entrepreneurs right now, they don't really understand the meaning of doing it and hustling on your own.
Yep.
Because sometimes, because of the world where we live right now, everything's so fast paced. They feel that success should be fast as well. They don't go to the roots,
to the whole process,
basically to the roots of success, that you have to go and engage, you have to sell it, you have to carry it. Because I've seen so many entrepreneurs right now, they have this certain status already, and they're not.
Rich, you've touched a nerve, Rich. You've touched a very strong nerve.
They say you have to be dirty. You have to get dirty on the process, you have to go there and really experience it. Otherwise, I don't think that it's going to be really good in the long run.
I've seen so many people when suddenly an entrepreneur becomes successful. I faced this myself, and you come into the limelight because there's something right which you're doing. Yes. People probably start assuming that, hey, you know what, that's an overnight success. And I'm like, it took me 15 years to become this overnight success, and I don't even think I've scratched the surface. Yeah, no one sees what happens behind the scenes, and that's unfortunate.
That is true. That is true. Wow.
It's like the iceberg, Rich. The iceberg theory.
Yeah, iceberg. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So it's really very, very deep below, but what we always see is just the portion, right?
10%.
But it actually took years or centuries for that to happen, for that to really grow high, right?
The foundation is everything, and wow. Oh my God, I hope the viewers are getting a lot of value from what we're talking about. And I know that everyone is thinking about how to really become a better entrepreneur on what you're hearing right now. So of course, let's not forget the platform that we are in. Of course, Joanna, please remind our viewers about DoNation.
Yes, everybody, especially to those who just tuned in with us right now. We are live at DoNation. Let's do it for the nation. And right now, you could see the link where you can make your donation for the frontliners and event liners. And again, this is voluntary. We're actually knocking at the goodness of your heart to please support us in this endeavor. And the beautiful thing about this is you will be helping at least 100 medical frontliners and at least 100 event liners when you support our cause. But we're really hoping that we can target or we can reach more people, because especially in the events industry, there are thousands who were displaced because of this COVID-19. And right now, they are knocking on our doors and they need our support. And of course, we're doing this pro bono. Rich here and Karan and all the guest speakers that we had in the past few episodes, we're actually doing this out of the goodness of their hearts also. They're providing this value to you because they want to support the frontliners and the event liners, but they want to support your personal development as well. Because even if we are still in the quarantine or we're just staying inside our home, we believe that we can grow through this kind of platforms. And there's a lot of things that you can do to help you grow personally and professionally. So please stay tuned with us until the end of this interview, because there's a lot of questions that we actually prepared to you. Karan, we prepared 2,000. So I hope that you have time for everything.
I have time, but before you move on, is it okay if I say something?
Sure.
I think what you guys are doing with donation is fantastic. I think there's no other better way of getting of really inspiring people to do something good for the frontliners, either in the medical field or the event field, by actually giving something for them to learn. So what you're doing is amazing. It's a great initiative, and I'm so happy that in my own small way, I think it's a really small way. What you guys are doing out there is much, much, much bigger. And I'm so thankful that I'm a part of this to contribute in whatever way I can. You have been instrumental in our journey. It was always because of you that we met the wonderful people of Philippines. And this is my effort to do whatever I can to make sure that we contribute. And it is our responsibility. So thank you for taking it up. Really appreciate it. Hats off to you guys.
Thank you too. And here's for you.
Thank you. You too.
So this is our gift for you for now, because we couldn't meet each other because of the quarantine, but we're sending our love to you, Karan, and to everybody in India as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So I have a fun question for you, Karan. Truth of the
I'm excited
matter.
with this.
Truth is, this is actually a recurring question, meaning this is one of those questions that we have been asking our speakers ever since we started with donation, because we're really having fun about this. And at the same time, Rich, you agree, right, that every time that the speaker answers this question, there's so much deep insight that we actually get from everybody, and that's really fantastic. So the question is, Karan, you're a big fan of Avengers? I hope.
You hope?
Nice.
I'm a freak.
Wow.
I'm a
So
freak.
you're a huge fan.
I've been, since my childhood, I've been surrounded by only conversations about superheroes. I'm a buff. I'm crazy. There's not a single movie, not a single sitcom surrounding any kind of superhero which I've not seen. Not just Marvel, also DC. All right, but I'm a crazy fan. And my office. I mean, I so when you say this, I so miss my office right now because I'm at home. But my office cabin is only superheroes. I have a wall with superheroes. I have my Captain America shield. I have figurines. It's all over. So yeah, I'm really excited for this question.
I really believe you when you were saying right now that you are a huge fan. So, Karan, my question is, because everybody, right? DC, Marvel, wherever they are. So, who among these Avengers character do you relate most to, and why? Why do you think you relate to this person or character the most?
So who my most favorite superhero and whom I relate to are very different.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, my
Okay.
favorite superhero, at least in Avengers, is Iron Man. Because because I just think he's really cool, and I think, and one of the reasons why I love the guy the most is because I think he's the only person who really doesn't have a superpower. His superpower is his brain, and
Yes.
that's a pretty big deal.
True.
Mhm.
Yeah. And he's using what he has. Yeah, he has a lot of money. Yeah, he's intelligent. So he's using what he has to save the world and make a difference, which is a responsibility. So he's my favorite. But whom I relate to is Captain America.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so
Okay,
that's why
I tell
you have a
yeah.
Captain America in your office.
I have a big shield of Captain America. Yeah, I'll tell you why I relate to him. I think Captain America is very synonymous to an entrepreneur. He is an exemplary example of a leader. He's the leader of the Avengers. Even though Iron Man in the last movie made the ultimate sacrifice to save the world, bottom line to lead them there, it was Captain America. He is the captain. And one thing, I mean, apart from his leadership skills, apart from what he does, he has a code of honor. In simple words, and for me, and that is my code of honor, my core value framework, which me and my team portray. And I tell you that code of honor, and obviously it's inspired by Blair. Mission first, team second, me third.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and Captain America does that. He will always put the mission first, no matter what the situation is. And then he puts his team, the Avengers team, before him, and then he gives himself the last priority. And that is how a leader should be. And you need to make decisions keeping in mind that code of honor. You got to treat people keeping in mind the code of honor. You got to deal with situations. You got to delegate. You got to invest all of what you do, keeping these code of honors in mind. And that's why I so relate to Captain America, because I think he's a role model. In fact, truth to be told, my team members, they call me Captain.
Wow.
And they call me
Captain.
And they call me Captain because I relate to Captain America. That's the reference.
Okay.
So yeah, Captain America.
But you are a captain because you are an amazing leader. And yeah, it's so nice how you explained or put it out there. So for all the viewers, I hope you actually got that. And we were talking about code of honor by our most lovable mentor, Blair Singer. But yeah, I totally agree with you. And I love how you put it out. For everybody, guys, code of honor as a leader is to always have
Very
your
important.
mission first, no matter what. Always go back to the very reason you are doing. For example, you are doing business right now. Always go back to the very purpose that you created your mission. And usually the mission that you have for your business is always bigger than you. It's not just about the money. It's about the value that you can provide to everybody. It's about
That's the key point.
Yes.
That is
It's
true.
about solving other people's problem, right? Business is all about problem and solution. So you provide a solution to the problem of the people, and that's where your mission would be. And then, of course, second, always is the team. I totally agree and relate to that because right now, this is what we learned from you, Karan, and from all our coaches, from Rajiv in the MBA, is that win-win-win. It's not just about winning for the company. It's not just about winning for the customers, but it's also about winning for the team. Because your team is your family. No matter what, if you treat your team well, if you really cared for them generously and with all your heart, they're gonna love you and they will stick with you no matter what. Right?
Yep.
And they would also believe in the mission that you have. So even if you are struggling or you are going through some patches or challenges, especially right now with the COVID-19, they will always be there for you because they believe in your mission and they believe that you're going to take care of them. And of course, lastly, ourselves, because the most important always, it's like what you mentioned earlier, Trinity, right? So do not delete ourselves or release ourselves from the equation because we're still part of it. So we still need to do something about our own health, about our own welfare, about our own thoughts. So mission first, team second, and me last. And that's really, really, really fantastic, Karan. Thank you so much.
I just want to say, I just love it how you delivered it, Karan. It's very clear of the characters and everything. And like what Joanne has been saying about the mission, the team, me. It's one of the code of honors that I have is really first in, last out.
Yes.
Yep.
That has been like, that's why I'm also a big fan of Captain America, and it's really really cool, man. I am in love with you right now.
So, Rich and Karan, okay, let me do this for you. This is for you, Karan, and this is for you,
And
Rich.
back to you.
Yeah. So you guys are captain of your own boats. You are captain of your own teams, and I am just privileged at this moment to be involved in this whole conversation, and I'm really learning a lot.
This
I'm
is
glad. I'm so glad that we're doing this. Thank you.
Yes.
so, Karan. We're of course we are in a new normal right now. Honestly, this is like one of the things that a lot of people are talking about. And of course, I just, as an entrepreneur, I want to just get a little bit of your thoughts. Of course, obviously, nobody expected that this will happen. Everyone, even for me, I thought this is just gonna be like a 2 week thing, like a 2 week
Mm,
break. It
mm,
Yep.
became months, and until now, there's a lot of uncertainty outside. So,
mm.
what were your first thoughts when this actually hit? When this actually came in?
So honestly, I didn't take it seriously. Like
Same.
I'm like, yeah, whatever. Uh, what it's not going to affect us. That's the most default thought.
Mm,
As naive, as ignorant it may sound, I think a lot of people felt that it was like, I mean, sometime back, a very similar epidemic came in the form of Ebola, but it did not have the kind of widespread effect like the coronavirus.
That is true.
And yeah, we heard about it in the news, but it didn't really, like, we didn't give it importance. So I was
mm,
like, yeah, okay, whatever. There's some pandemic, some people, there's some virus, and there's some people who are falling sick. So we just need to be careful. But I didn't take it seriously. But when uh, normal life started coming to a halt, when and in our case, normal life is traveling to different cities and doing events.
mm,
Yeah. So when the airports close, when the railways close, that's when it really started sinking in that this is just not some ordinary virus. It's something which is really taking people, and it needs to be given the kind of attention and care and the respect it deserves.
I can relate because a lot of people, I have to agree, a lot of people until now, they feel that it's not going to be a thing to be scared of. But
So I
right,
went through a transition, which let me say that, and
yeah,
it
go.
obviously it's like I would say in India specifically, this kind of came into boom in mid March,
mm,
and our Prime Minister announced a lockdown also, in the third week of March, and that's when it really hit the roof basically. And from then, obviously, as any normal person, it's not like. I mean, everybody's human, so the worry comes in. Were we worried? Yes. What is going to happen? Is how it's going to affect us? What about our events? We had to cancel 3 events in India. We had 3 events lined up in April. Our PACE program was lined up. It was going to be the first, I mean, the second, third, and fourth PACE program of the year. Tickets were already sold. Everything was done, but
mm,
we had to postpone it. So it definitely has a huge impact. And then the
Mhm,
worry creeped in. What's going to happen?
mhm.
But very quickly, I really I thank all our learning. I thank all the exposures and the experiences that we've gone through. That we don't like to sit and worry. And the immediate next question was, okay, how do we change? First, we made sure we took all our precautions. Make sure we evaluated our financial situation. Make sure that we arranged for backup, because I was never. I mean, we're not laid off anybody, nor are we going to lay off anybody. And for me, I'm very particular about. I don't think it's a very personal belief. I'm not expecting everybody to do that, because everybody has their own situations to look at. But for me, this is not the time to lay people off. It's the time to protect them, because they've been with you, and they've done their job. So you cannot hit people where it's going to hurt the most. So,
mm,
and I mean, I don't know, it's a personal choice, but I'm not really a big fan of people firing people because they're not able to afford it.
mm,
So so we made sure that we spoke to our team, we addressed work from home, we put in systems to make sure that work from home happens in a more productive manner. And we assured our team more than anything else that no matter what, we're not going to let you go and fire you for this reason for sure. We worked on other methods. We didn't even do a salary cut because our team is working full time. I mean, we're still serving all our clients all across the world, including clients in the Philippines, and they're doing their job. So I don't think it's because of them that this is happening. So it's not fair. They also have a livelihood to run. We did work on certain deference pay options, wherein a certain percentage will be paid off a little later, but it will be paid so that it's a win-win-win period.
Yes.
And that's the guiding philosophy. And we've reinvented, we've explored parallel models. We're not killing our main product in the form of the PACE program, but we're making sure that we're going something parallel, and that's helping us sustain. So the question we asked ourselves is, what needs to change? What needs to change for us to not just survive, but also thrive in this period? And we're going in that direction. This was the thought process we went through, right from A to Z.
Wow. You have just given us a lot of practical advice on what to do during this pandemic. Isn't it right, Rich?
Yeah. I mean, I remembered when this came out. I know Rajiv went live and talked about the things that entrepreneurs should be doing about checking the gaps in your business, checking the finances, putting on into writing and getting the right numbers. If how can your business be sustained if there is no money coming in? Can the business sustain? How long? So at least you don't put so much worry on what's happening now. At least you will have more time to do some planning. I just love all the advices that your team has been giving me personally, and I've been applying it actually. Even with the salaries, just talking to my team, I'm asking them for some flexibility. I love that.
Exactly.
So I talked to them. They gave me this, and it's one thing that entrepreneurs and business leaders and business heads should be listening to right now. Always talk to your team.
Yes.
Always get in touch with them, and this is what I've learned immediately from MBA. And thank you so much for that, Karan.
Yes. So for all our viewers, if you were wondering what is this MBA that we are actually keep saying from the very start of this interview, this is actually a program that Karan and Rajiv Talreja offered here in the Philippines when they were doing their events here, when everything is still okay. And myself, our company, Laurus Enterprises, and Rich Paredes here, our friend, and his whole company is actually enrolled into this program. So basically, the whole program is about strengthening the major functions in our businesses so that we can grow our business even without us. Meaning, putting second line of leaders, teaching them what has to be done in the business, giving them our skills, our knowledge. Because, Karan, I totally agree with what you are teaching in MBA, that sometimes as an entrepreneur or a solopreneur, it's so hard to pass on the knowledge, the expertise that we have to other people, thinking that they might not get it, they might not understand it, or maybe because you just love doing the business on yourself, right, on your own. But if you really want to grow your business locally or even globally, meaning compete outside the country, then for you to do that is actually develop second lines of leader and enroll yourselves to programs like MBA, because they have really great coaches who will walk you through the whole process hand in hand. They will be with you. And just to share also, Laurus Enterprises grew, or we are now developing our leaders, our second line of leaders, because of the MBA. Because when we were starting, and Rich knows this, right?
Yes.
In 2015, until you guys came in and explained to us what MBA is all about, it was just the four of us, meaning we are the founders, four of us in the company, and we are everything in the company. We are marketing, we are sales, we are HR, we are research.
You are the firefighters.
Yeah, firefighters, definitely. And we are even the one doing the logistics in the room during our event. Like we will wake up 2 a.m., 1 a.m. Sometimes we don't sleep at all. And when you go there early, you would see us fixing the fixing the chair, making sure the stage is okay,
Yes.
preparing the registration, preparing the sales table, making sure that the food and the drinks for the participants and even the speakers are ready even before they came. So that's what we are prior to MBA, and that changed when you guys explain to us what's the beauty of creating our second line of leaders and what's the beauty of creating a team. And right now, of course, we are still just starting. We still have a long way to go in our
Oh
business
yeah.
to leave it actually to our leaders. But we're getting there. And it's all because of you, Karan, Rajiv,
Thank you.
and
Thank you.
of course, our lovable and dearly coach, Abhishek. So
I'll
thank you
pass
for
on the
that.
message.
Yes, yes. You guys are really instrumental to what Laurus has become. And you take away a lot of pressure and stress from our shoulders because of what you guys are teaching us during this full time, especially right now that we are in this pandemic. And
That's
we
true.
Thank
are
you.
stronger than ever before because you're there. You're passing on your love and you're always there to support us, just like what Rich mentioned a while ago. So thanks to you and to everybody in the Quantum Leap.
Thank you.
This is a
Means a
journey
lot. Thank you so much.
worth
Thank you
taking.
so much for sharing that.
And I'd like to say, of course, to my coach Pratima. So hi.
I'll pass on the message too.
I just
Yes.
want to say for everyone, if of course this is the perfect time to really learn. And you know,
Mm.
if you guys want to know more about that, you can get in touch with the team of Quantum Leap. You guys, it's really highly recommended. That's why I'm going giving it back to
Get in touch
Joanna.
with Joanna, the team of Laurus.
Yes.
And Laurus, of course. Go to Laurus. That's where I got it. So
yes.
go to Laurus, ladies and gentlemen, and get
If you're
that.
looking for mentors, if you're looking for coaches, definitely Laurus Enterprises can help you. And it's so sad that we have to, just like you in India, we also canceled two of our biggest events, the
Yeah.
MMI last April, and then we will be no, not really canceling, rescheduling our National
Yeah,
Achievement
rescheduling.
Congress to be led by Vision. And you're supposed to be part of that, Karan, but
Yep. Yep.
for all our viewers and everybody who bought the ticket to the National Achievers, don't worry, guys. Definitely, we're going to make it happen. Karan is going to the Philippines together with Vision and all the speakers. We just have to wait for the perfect time because the safety of everybody is our priority.
I know. I know. My gosh.
Yeah.
I need
Karan, you know
more
what?
contact.
Ever since we started staying at home, doing this doing taking care of our health
Yeah.
and all, I've developed some skills. Like I know how to cook, definitely, but I'm getting better. According to my husband, I'm getting better. So he's liking it more and more every day because I'm cooking the food for the two of us. And at the same time, I'm reading a lot of books. And this is a skill I've just developed. I haven't done anything like this ever, doing an online event or hosting an event like this. So this is a skill that I have just acquired. So for you, Karan, I want to know what are the newly discovered skills that you have?
So on the professional side, Joanna, like you, exploring a lot more about how online works, doing a lot more webinars online, getting more used to technology. These
Mhm.
are skills which I wouldn't say I would say I've become much more stronger right now.
Mhm.
Earlier, I would struggle. I would struggle to do a Facebook Live because I would need someone to help me with the mechanics, and it would take me some time. But now it's come in automatically using Zoom,
Wow.
using multi speaker Zoom events, for example. Yeah, it would really come naturally right now. So, and I think it's an important skill. I think the situation, I've always not been a person who deals with technology very easily, to be very honest. But this situation has pushed a lot of us outside our comfort zones for the better.
Yeah.
And That's a skill which I've picked up. Let me tell you other areas where I've gone outside my comfort zone. My babysitting skills have really improved.
Wow.
So my
Congratulations.
son is 11 months old now, and just before the pandemic, I obviously had an excuse that I'm traveling. I'm not there. Now I don't have any excuse. Now I
Yeah.
have to change diapers. I have to clean
Wow.
poop. I have to clean vomit. I have to make him eat. I have to do all of it. So I mean, it's fun. With jokes apart, I've really bonded with my son at a certain age where you can literally see how he's growing. So I in some ways it's a blessing for me, because these are precious moments you don't want to miss out. And I've really learned how to do all the babysitting chores. So I feel confident that I'm a good dad now.
Okay.
Another big skill which I've picked up. This is very surprising when I tell this to a lot of people. I don't drink coffee, and I don't even if I drink it once in a while, I'm not an avid coffee drinker where I had to make my own coffee. On the
Mhm.
other hand, my wife Payal. She loves her coffee, and she always had this one thing from me. I've cooked for her once in a while. I'll do the dishes. I'll do all that, but for some reason, I don't know how to make coffee. So she always had this desire that can I get coffee in bed? When the day is over, I just have to tell you, Karan, can you make me a cup of coffee, and you should go and make it for me. And I would never do that. But finally, I love to make coffee.
So you're getting 2 awards, Karan. First is the New Daddy Award, and then we're giving you the Starbucks Award. So we have just created those awards just for you.
Wow. Now there's no more excuses.
That's what I'm worried about, Rich. That when things get back to normal, is my wife going to still expect that?
Can I answer that? I will tell you honestly, yes.
Yeah, I know.
She will always
Um,
expect that now.
Excuse me, guys. Can a wife answer that also?
But I'm more than happy to do it. I think I owe it to her. So I'm more than glad to do it, whatever way I can. But when I did coffee for the first time, I did the Dalgona coffee, okay, because it was a range.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I was so nervous. I'm like, okay, I'm not nervous when I'm sitting down with a business owner giving him strategic direction, but I'm nervous about making coffee. I kept asking me, how do I hold the cup? How much of milk do I put? How do I use the blender? I'm like, oh my God. And then my wife gives me this look. You teach business owners, you can't even make a cup of coffee.
That's really, really cute. But you know what? With everything that you're saying, I love that you guys are having so much fun. And I think that's one of the things that we have to be grateful for with everything that's happening. And that's the beauty of this pandemic, that we are able to spend time with the people that we should be spending it with too, like our wife, our kids, our parents, our family. So
Yeah.
that's very, very priceless. So I've been reading a lot. Like it's one actually the best gift that this pandemic offered us, to finally have a time for something that truly matters. Because when we are working, when we are doing our business, unfortunately, we really can that those business take away so much of our time, even though we don't want to prioritize it, but sometimes it does. It really takes a lot of time from the people that we clearly love. But with this pandemic, here we are right now, no excuses. We just have to do it. Go get that Dalgona coffee and go change the diaper of the baby. So there you are.
Karan, you made me miss changing diapers. My son is already 10 years old. So, when you were saying that, I was like reminiscing, oh my God, yes, I remember those days.
Oh, that's good for you. Okay, so another award also for you, Rich.
Ay, the
The Daddy
diaper
Award
award.
also.
Diaper award.
So, Karan, let me ask you. Let's pretend, okay? We're gonna do some. We're gonna pretend, like, just the sake for this interview, that let's just say, because of what happened during this pandemic, let's just say you only have like $1,000 US, okay, $1,000 US of extra money right now. just laying around, what would you be doing with that money as of today?
So the key part over here is, Rich, that I have $1,000 to play around with,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So so keeping in mind this pandemic, besides all the necessity stuff, I would hands down use a good portion of the money to learn, because and again, sometimes in our industry this becomes a cliche, but I sincerely believe it's not, because especially in a situation like this, your prior experiences, your prior skills kind of can become useless. So you need to learn. You need, and when you need to learn, you cannot learn till you don't invest. I'm very clear about that. And because it works like return, business also is like return on investment. So you got to invest to get return. So I would spend a good amount of money in learning certain skills which can complement my core skills, right? Yeah. And use my core skills, invest in complementary skills to start a new business, which can really thrive in the post-COVID or post-pandemic life. Is it adversity? Is it challenges? Yes, but it's also going to throw open a lot of opportunity. And that's some the good part. There's a reframe and a good to derive out of every situation. I believe that this situation has created a very level playing ground. It has leveled the field, and your past accolades, your past experiences, your past credibility will not matter as much as the amount of value you can add. That's the change which is going to happen. So, good time to become an entrepreneur also. So, but you cannot become an entrepreneur till you know how to learn. So I would invest in learning, and then after I've learned, I would figure out everything else because of my learning to raise money, to whatever it might take to start a new business if I was in that situation.
Nice. Yeah, perfect. I mean, this is the time to learn. This is the time to invest on ourselves. And I like what you said. Learn skills that can complement your core skills already.
Yes.
Yep.
I like that. Because a lot of people are going crazy right now on what skills to learn. And I feel that is the first thing that you should do. Look at what current skills you have,
right,
and look for mentors, coaches that can enhance that. Perfect. I love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's beautifully said as well, because to be a doctor, you really have to invest time, money, and effort so that you become professional or expert in that. Same to be an engineer, to be a lawyer. But sometimes people think that just because they have this idea and they can go into business right away, they forget that there are really skills necessary for them to really succeed in the business. It's good that you are passionate about something. It's good that you know about something, like, for example, creating coffee. You're really good at making coffee, but it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop like putting hot water in it and then putting the beans in it, adding sugar and all. You really have to develop the necessary skills for you to be able to learn and further your skills, and eventually it will create a ripple effect for your business. So it's really, really good.
With the risk of having people disagree with what I'm saying, I'm going to say something right now. Again, with no offense, it's just sincerely what I believe in. I think passion is overrated.
Yes.
Right? I'm not saying it's not important. I'm saying it's very important. But you can't. Do you need passion? Yes. Do you need a purpose? Yes. But when it comes to a business, it's passion plus purpose plus profit. And profit doesn't come because of passion. Profit comes because of skill. Profit comes because of strategy. Profit comes because of knowledge. Profit comes because of leadership. Your passion is not going to get you the money. Right? And this is irrespective whether you're an entrepreneur or you're a working professional. It really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you got to use that passion to drive you, but passion is not going to make you only successful. You need the skill.
That's
so
true.
Yes,
it's important to learn.
Like, there are many people who really think that they're good at it, at something, but they lack the necessary basic skill, which is selling.
For me, what is worrying, all right, for a lot of entrepreneurs out there is that people believe that passion is enough for them to become successful. That and they see so many movies, they see so many documentaries about how struggling entrepreneurs have become successful, and the only learning they take from that is passion, is mindset. Is it important? Yes, but passion is not the only answer. Just because you have passion doesn't equal you're going to be successful.
Yes.
And that's
You
my
actually,
main.
yeah, you actually gave a really good equation right now, which is passion plus purpose plus profit equals a successful business. So for all our viewers out there, I hope you have taken down note of that important equation that Karan actually just gave us. Passion plus purpose plus profit. It doesn't stop with your passion, and it also doesn't stop with your purpose. It's good that you know those two. You know your mission in life and doing your business, but you have to develop skills. So the number one skill that we should all develop is the sales skills. But there are instances when we will meet entrepreneurs or people who are doing business and they avoid selling, right? But they don't realize that being the owner or being in the top management of the company, you are the number one salesperson in your company, because you won't be able to really sell your idea, your mission to people if you don't speak about it, if you don't allow people to actually hear it from you, and if you don't allow people to hear the sales pitch from you. That's the most important part for me.
Nice.
Right. Yeah, you know what, Karan, because we have been doing MBA with you, and you have been emphasizing for ever since we started. You have always been emphasizing about the 7 major functions in business,
Yep.
right? Marketing, sales, R&D, HR,
Marketing.
what else?
Operations,
Human resources,
operations and accounts.
operations, and accounts. So these are the basic foundation of any businesses.
I can say it in my sleep, by the way. So
It's okay. So those are the most important, because for an entrepreneur, especially when we are starting, we always think that the things that we have to focus on about our business is just the marketing and the sales. How to make profit, bring in money for the company. At the same time, how can I promote this product? But we're forgetting the other functions: operations, accounts, R&D, HR, those kind of things. So can you please tell us why all of this thing is important for an entrepreneur to know?
so usually if you are focusing on marketing and sales only, Joanna, that's great. I'll tell you what most entrepreneurs do based on, and I'm saying this after having handheld more than 1,000 entrepreneurs so far across Philippines and India. They only focus on sales and operations. Yeah, they're focusing on how to sell, and they're focusing on how to service to whom they're sold to, right? But when you're doing that, we always say this in our training programs: business is like a wheel,
Yeah.
and the wheel has spokes. It's the spokes of the wheel which control the wheel. It's the spokes of the wheel which give strength to the wheel. It's the spokes of the wheel which give speed, which gives stability to the wheel. If the spokes are broken, the wheel is going to fall. And if the spokes are missing, it's not a wheel, it's a tire, right? So these 7 functions, and I'll name the functions again: marketing, sales, operations, which is predominantly the 3 activities which are responsible for running the business.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, marketing gives you leads, sales gives you revenue, and operations provides the value which your customers are paying for. And then you have R&D, you have accounts, and you have HR, which is human resources. These are support functions which support sales, marketing, and operations. And then you have management as a function, to say a Lord of the Rings reference, the one to rule them all, yeah, is management, right? Yeah, I'm a buff, Rich.
We're connecting, man. We are connecting. I'm just saying.
So my point being is that all of these are important, and all of these happening consistently are important, so that your business can survive. This is business. If any of these are missing, then it would lead to firefighting. It would lead to a very, very reactive, problem-based approach. And a direct impact on that is that you will not see growth in your business, for sure.
That's correct.
So that's the reason why all these are important, because it's like, missing pieces of a puzzle. It's not a complete picture.
Agree. Everything
Yeah.
works together, hand in hand.
And honestly, to take it one step forward, most entrepreneurs struggle there. Most entrepreneurs are not able to focus on all these activities. Going back to what you said, Joanna, about the need and the importance of a second line team. It's important so that these functions are operating, because obviously if everything is dependent on a business owner, then nothing gets done, because we have one body, 2 arms, 2 legs, and 24 hours of our time. How much will we do? Period. It's common sense.
Yes.
Yeah. So I know I say this. It's also a quote which is on the back cover of my book. The bottleneck of every business is the business owner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to grow your business beyond you so that it can grow without you. And that's why you need a second line team. That's why you need systems. It's so important, so that all these 7 activities can function consistently and parallelly and produce the result, not when it's required, but parallelly, no matter what. That's a business.
Yes. And allow us entrepreneurs to take a breath, and at the same time spend time with our families and go out on a vacation. That's the best thing about everything that you are telling us right now, Karan.
And I think we're getting a lot of vacation time now.
So true, right?
I mean, it's in a way it's a good thing that this happened, because we have so many relationships that we need to really get connected with. And us entrepreneurs, we are very, very busy. We know this. And it's like, for me, it's like a breath of fresh air on what's happening now. I'm not saying it's all bad. We have good things, and people should start looking of the good things of what the situation has for us. And this is what also Karan has been saying, that we were spending time, right? We're spending time now, and we're also going to be building ourselves up, learning, being coached, and this is the time. I mean, no more excuses.
Yes.
If not now, then when? I mean, it's high time.
And as I love to say is that if I really want it to be, it's up to me.
Yeah.
Right? So if we really want our business to grow, if we really want our families to feel that they are nourished, if we want to build stronger relationship with the people that we love, and have a stronger relationship with money as well, it's really up to us.
That is correct.
Hang on.
Karan, as a business coach, of course, of all the people that you're training, you're coaching, you're guiding, what's the most difficult part of being a business coach for you?
Okay, so I'll tell you what's the most difficult part about being a business coach. As a role of a business coach, let me tell you what is my role as a business coach. I need to teach. I need to make sure people understand what we've taught. We need to customize what they have learned so that they implement what is relevant. Give them direction on how to implement it. Give them feedback. Handhold them. The works. So everything required to provide in the form of direction, apart from doing it. So my biggest challenge is when people don't do it.
when they're not taking action, and then they would ask, what's happening? Why am I not moving? Why am I not succeeding? There's nothing happening in my business.
You stole my words.
And the coach has a problem right now, but the person actually forgets, hey, you have to do something. You have to take action.
Okay,
it's also a big reason. It's a big objective of coaching that you need to support people in taking action. But sometimes, again, I'm being very honest with you, right? That sometimes I too introspect and say that what more can we provide which will enable them to take action because I am lost. Yeah, I mean, you want motivation, motivation is taken care of. You face challenges, we help you break through solutions. I mean, but it's sometimes people are just lazy. Sometimes people don't have the drive to be willing to take action, and there's always a reason. There's always an excuse, and then pandemics like this, give you a rude shock to make you realize that all your past karma has hit you right now. Like I believe this. Okay, I sincerely believe this. If businesses are struggling today, it's because there was already holes in the balloon, like how Blair said it. Okay, there were already holes in the balloon ages back. It's just that the balloon is burst right now. Period.
Totally agree.
Yeah, I totally get what you are saying also, Karan, because in our case, being event organizers, and we've been doing a lot of events, right? And we usually get questions like, I've already attended this and that, but nothing has happened. So what can that program do to me, or what can this speaker do to me? Sometimes it's really about excuses.
So it's about the willingness. So I believe this. Okay, that's why I said that learning is a skill.
Yes.
Learning is not equal to attending a seminar or attending a training program. Learning without action is inconsequential. So that's why it's a skill, and it boils down to people's willingness to get out of their comfort zone and take action. And at the end of the day, if people are not willing to take action in spite of all the support, then there's a different question which needs to be asked. No learning is going to make any difference.
Agree.
Yeah.
So,
And I just want to say ouch.
yeah, because in all honesty, sometimes me myself, I'm not really a good student. Like, I don't really apply right away what my coach is telling us, and Abhishek can really attest to this, because sometimes he would keep on following up, right? And he would ask, Joanna, have you done this? Have you done this? Have you done this? Oh, Abhishek, I'm so busy. I have a lot of things to do.
So the beauty about this, Joanna, is that there's no necessity to implement everything. And I'm sure you will also agree with me out of experience. It's about this one or two things which you implement will change the game. That's all. Yeah.
You just focus on one or two things, and then be good at it, and then you move to another.
But the question to ask is that one or two things is not always easy, and it's never meant to be easy, because otherwise everybody would be successful. As simple as that. Yeah. Are you willing to go? Are you willing to do it? That's honestly my biggest challenge. That and it's a part of the industry. It's a part of my profession, and that's what we're supposed to deal with. Yeah. So. But we have to keep dealing with those challenges. There are going to be people who will always be successful. There are going to be people who are not going to take action. That's how the world works. So that's the way it is.
Yes, and I couldn't agree further. And Rich, you're right. Ouch.
I know. I was like, okay. After this call, I need to call Patrima.
You need some meditation.
I know. I miss her.
Yeah, we need to lock ourselves in the room and really contemplate Rich.
I know. Oh my God.
Okay, so now, Karan, this is another fun part of our interview. This is what we call fast talk. Have you done something like this?
It's like a rapid fire is what I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, so I'm going to give you two options, and then you have to answer as quickly as you could, without explanation, without assessment, without analysis.
Okay, done. I'm ready.
Okay, all right. So now we start. Meat or vegetable?
Meat.
Phone or laptop?
Phone.
Dine-in or takeaway?
Dine in.
Morning or night?
Night.
Introvert or extrovert?
Extrovert.
Eagle or lion?
Eagle or?
Lion.
Lion.
Yes.
Lion.
Lion. Okay. Short or long?
Long.
Truth or dare?
Truth.
Truth. Juice or soda?
Soda.
Scuba dive or snorkel?
Scuba dive.
Piano or guitar?
The guitar.
Red or green?
Green.
Okay, and then because you said truth, here's question for you. No, just kidding.
I'm okay.
Yes. So you know what? We love doing this with all our speakers because it really gives us a different perspective of you. Like if you only have two options in the world, where would you go to or what would you choose? So sometimes life is like that. You just have to make a decision, right? What's
Yep.
in front of
And this exercise helps you to make quick decisions sometimes.
you. Yes.
Friends reference if you're a Friends fan, Rich.
I think it's a good brain teaser also.
Yep, yep.
So Rich, did you have fun on that?
Every time he answers, I think of the answer, oh, what would I choose as well? So, you know, Karan, I feel that when we meet, when we see each other again, oh my God, we have so many things in common. Oh, yeah. So,
So the next time around when you do coaching, then Rich is going to ask you questions not related to the current topic.
oh,
More than happy.
I'm going to make it relate.
Like Captain America, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So speaking of Captain America, because you know, we all know that it was in 1960s or something, and then he got freezed, right? And then he woke up to the new world. So if you can be like that, or if you can time travel, go back to the past, I'd like to ask Karan, where would you like to go, or who would you want to meet?
Interesting. So, if I would like to go, for me, I mean, again, it's a very personal thing for me. I would, uh, I would like to go back to the area prior to our independence of our country. That's prior to 1947, and I would definitely want to be in the minds or be uh, probably people who were instrumental to causing the independence to happen. Say someone like I mean, this is in reference to my country very specifically. Freedom fighters. This person called Subhash Chandra Bose. So uh, I believe that if things were done differently at that point of time, yeah, we would be different today,
Mhm.
prior to independence. So for me, time travel would be to go back to the 1940s, okay,
Mhm.
and be one of those freedom fighters, to have make a very significant difference to where our country and the way we're living in today is. That would be a big desire for me.
Wow.
Yeah, but if you ask me something recent,
Mhm.
something which is, I mean, I'm again using, I'm sharing out of, from my heart completely over here that I wish I could go back 6 months in time, because reason being that in on March 20th we lost one of our very very dear mentors, my spiritual coach Siddharth Jaffrey, and it was something which none of us expected, and she has probably been a mentor and a coach to me who's made the most profound impact on my life, and I mean we just lost her. She passed away because of a freak accident of a fire in her apartment when the pandemic was on, by the way. So
Mhm.
March 20th, and I just have so much more to ask. I have so much more to tell. I sincerely believe my son was a gift from her, and I wish I could go back 6 months in time, and I wish I could keep reliving those moments where I just get some more time with her, because it's a huge loss to the world. So these, I mean, when you ask me this question, the first thought which came into my head is that can I go back in time and meet Sidra, because I really miss her. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. We're so sorry to hear that.
Wow.
We actually read that from you and everybody else, and I really believe that she's a great woman because she has touched millions of lives in
Yes.
India and even outside, like Veron and the rest of the Success Resources family. And what I want to add with what you said for all the viewers, this is actually very important. Like because these people, the people that we love, we really don't know when they will be with us. We don't know what's going to happen a minute from now or tomorrow, right? And maybe what I want to say is that let's treasure this moment that we have with the people. If there are people in your lives that's very precious to you, show them your care, show them your love. If you want, you can tell them that you love them. Because I lost my mother 6 years ago, and I also love. If I could go back in time as well, that's one of the things that I would really want to do, to tell her that I love her, because we're not vocal about our feelings. So we're not that kind of family that we say I love you to each other. But I want to go back in that period and actually say it to her that I really love her. And right now that it's just wishful thinking. So I'm just, sending it out to the universe and hoping that she's still hearing it. So for all our friends, I hope you're getting the message of this. This is very important, what Karan actually shared to us right now, because we really cannot say until when we will be on earth, or until when the people that we love will be with us. So take the opportunity to make that connection call. So that's the list that we can do. Connect with them right now and just tell them how valuable they are to you. And if they touch your lives, tell them, and just appreciate them. I'm sure that they would be very, very happy if you do.
Wow,
Thank
nicely
you,
said.
everyone.
Nicely said, guys. Nicely
Thank you.
said. So, Karan, and this is the last question already. So, wow, I enjoyed a lot. I enjoyed our conversations.
So did I. So did I.
Um,
Me
I wanna,
too.
oh my God, I wanna talk about the book. It's an Amazon bestseller, and the cattle and the catalyst. What is the inspiration behind this book?
So the inspiration behind this book is, I wrote this book about in the year 2018, to be precise. It got launched in January 2019, and by then we've been coaching a lot of entrepreneurs. The most common challenge which stops entrepreneurs from growing was that, like I already mentioned earlier, that they are the bottleneck. And it's surprising, to be very honest, about how many entrepreneurs are struggling and firefighting because of them, which means that they're not willing to do certain very simple yet extremely important inclusions in their business for them to grow, for them to scale. And on the other hand, they have a lot of desire, they have a lot of aspiration where they want to really grow. So for me, the inspiration was that, because I really believe that most entrepreneurs today, when they build their business, they drag their business like cattle. That's the inspiration behind the book title also. Like, how cattle in the farmland has to drag, all the weight behind them, which means it becomes a burden. And if your business is a burden, then why are you doing it? It's just, what's the point of it? And I believe that as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, your true role is to be a catalyst. So I'll define a catalyst. A catalyst is an external, okay, I repeat, it's an external substance which, when added to the equation, accelerates the performance of the equation. Which means that you got to be outside and you got to do your magic from the outside so that there's acceleration. That's how you got to build a business.
Wow.
Yeah, which means that the business cannot be dependent on you, and only then the business can scale. And truth to be told, Joanna, you mentioned, right? We teach people how to build a business which can grow without them.
Yes.
Honestly, that's the only way of building a business. Otherwise, it's not business. It's in our language, self-employment. You're running a circle of survival. You're firefighting, and what's the point of starting a business then? It needs to grow beyond you. It needs to run without you. If not, I think it's a deception that's called a business. Now, so that was my inspiration, where my book is focusing on entrepreneurs and strategic leaders to show them how to build a second line team so that they can stop the firefighting and they can focus on actually what is their job, which is to build a business. Today, most business owners are not doing their job. They're doing everything else apart from what they are supposed to do. Yeah, so that was my inspiration. So people can learn how to be true catalysts in their business.
So that's why it's a best-selling book in Amazon.
I can't wait to get mine.
Me too, Rich. I would love to read that book.
Oh my God. That is what a lot of entrepreneurs need, honestly. Because I love what you said. It's a lot of owners, they're not doing their job. They're doing somebody else's job.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
That is true. That is true. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. So we learned a lot. We really learned a lot, Karan. And this is such an amazing experience, especially for me. This is an amazing experience, and I just want to say
Me too.
thank you for the experience. Thank you for really giving us the taste of who Karan is.
My
Yeah.
pleasure, guys. I really enjoyed myself too. You know, when we have a conversation like this, more of course it's an interview, but you reconnect with yourself so much that it kind of re-emphasizes why you're doing what you're doing. So thank you guys. I think you guys are doing this is wonderful, and what you guys are doing is amazing. It deserves a lot of respect. Hats off to you guys, and I really want to. I hope that this initiative reaches a lot of people, and to all the viewers out there, um, my sincere request to all of you: take responsibility. You have been given access from years through Laurus to give you a platform to learn. Uh, Now it's your time to contribute back to the people who are making it possible for you to go on that path to success. Because if it wasn't for them, learning is not possible, and if learning is not possible, then success is not possible. Okay, and on the other lens, to all the medical frontliners, I mean, they're fighting for their lives to save our lives. It's not just in the Philippines; it's every single way. And you know the best part, they can also have a choice to not do it, but they do it because they take an oath to save lives, and that has to be respected because they're putting themselves in harm's way. They're no different from an army who's fighting for us at the border. And right now, this is a war which the whole world is going through against the COVID-19 crisis. So we need to support them. So do your bit. Whatever you do is okay, but do your bit because it goes a very long way. Yeah.
Yes.
So I really
Thank
enjoyed.
you so much, Rakaran. You wrapped it up so beautifully. Yeah. Thank you for that final message that we have. And thank you once again for doing this with us. You know, what I love with the entire conversation that we had for 90 minutes, that because we usually see each other and then we will meet and we talk about business. So we brainstorm what would be the best strategies to employ. That's usually how we converse
Yep.
every time that you're here in the Philippines. And this is the first time that we're actually, you know, having this fun, live conversation, but we're actually learning and we're picking your brain, and that we have so much value. You've given us so much right now. I feel so full. I feel so empowered as an entrepreneur. And thank you for appreciating what Laurus does. And we look forward to welcoming you to the Philippines. It's going to be really awesome to have you here.
Looking forward to once things settle down, we should definitely connect again. And I'm waiting to come back. And yeah, we'll hang out again, and we'll talk about superheroes when we meet
Yes,
again.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll make sure that I'll study Captain America Iron Man more so that, you know, I could contribute to the conversation. Otherwise, the whole time I will just be sipping my coffee and just be saying, yes, yes, okay. I'll make sure that I'll be, of contribution to you guys with regards to the Avengers and everything else.
Awesome.
So, Rich, thank you so much once again. You have been so awesome. You know, Rich here, our dear friend, he's actually a very busy person too. He do his own VIP TV, and he has a big group that he needs to support and coach as well. But every time that we would tell him that this is our next schedule, definitely Rich is just will just say, okay, I'm on it, I've reserved it, so let's do this. So thank you very much, Rich. You two are fantastic.
God. And the pleasure is all mine. This is an experience, and I'm learning from it, and I'm having time and bonding with the mentors and coaches that have been helping me. Okay, one way or the other, they're helping me out, and this is an amazing experience. Thank you, Lauros. Thank you, Karan. for the time, and I'm just excited. Guys, support Do Nation. Help out any way you can. Any amount will go a long, long way.
Yes. And we look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Dune Nation. I guarantee you that the next speaker is going to provide so much more and that you're going to have a lot of fun, just like what we are doing right now with this conversation with Karan. And once again, to you guys, I love to say this, you guys are fantabulous. Thank you so much for everything that you have given me today. And God bless you both. God bless you, everyone. Have a great night. Stay safe, stay healthy. Let's keep ourselves protected and always believe, keep our hopes higher and keep our faith higher. Everything is going to be normal once again. We
Yeah.
will bounce back definitely abundantly.
Yes. Perfect. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye. Bye, everyone.